All right, here's a quick crash course on webhooks, when we use them, why we use them, and how they even work. Now, first off, what even is a webhook? Now, if you're new to the AI automation space, I can almost guarantee you've heard of the term webhook. But if you're like me, when I first started out, I had no idea what it even is, how to use it, or even when to use it. A webhook is essentially just a URL that waits for your data to be sent to it. When something happens in like another app, a form on a website, or any other software, think of like a form submission or a payment notification. That app or whatever the form points and sends that data to the webhook. That webhook acts as a trigger to then start your end-to-end workflow. That way you can do whatever it is you're trying to do with that data. All right, so here we have the mailman, which is going to act as like your website. Here's the data or your package. And over here we have a house full of people waiting for that package to arrive to do what they need to do. Now let's say we're back in the olden days where like Amazon doesn't just go up and leave it at your doorstep, send you a picture, whatever. There needs to be some sort of middleman here to capture this package to then allow them to know when the package has arrived to start doing whatever it is they're trying to do. So the worst mailbox ever drawn before receives this package or receives the data. This is the webhook right here. The mailbox is the webhook. And the trigger is once this flag goes up or once this webhook receives the data, it then triggers the rest of the workflow or it tells everyone inside, hey, the package or the data is here. Time to do what we need to do. So the webhook is your mailbox. The data is the mail or the package. N8N or the people inside the house react when the mail arrives. So here's an example flow of when we use webhooks and how they work. So a client submits a form on a website. That form points and sends the data from the form to our webhook in N8N. The webhook then receives and captures the data from the form. Then we trigger our N8N workflow to start because the form data has now been received. Our workflow begins and we accomplish the task that we're trying to accomplish with that form data. Let me show you a real example. And then we click this book my free strategy call that points to this webhook. It then is going to trigger this system that adds the lead to the CRM using this form data, forms research on the person submitting the form, and then drafts and sends a personalized email to the person filling out a form. The reason we're using webhook here is because my website and my form doesn't have a direct trigger integration in N8N. So I had to create my own using a webhook. So let's click book my free strategy call and see what happens. We can see our webhook then received the form data. Once it received the form data, our workflow was triggered and we accomplished the task. Here's the email that we received. If you want to learn more about this stuff, go ahead and check out my free school community, the AI Growth Lab. We've already hit 25 members. It's just going to continue to grow and get better as time goes on. Look forward to seeing you in there.